No more delays, let's get into the review. Hello, House Mouse Users here, and, well, we're finally reviewing Star Fox Adventures. There's no movies ahead of this now, I can finally review this. Ah, boy. Well, this is my first ever game I'm reviewing made by Rare, as well as a game from one of my favorite consoles, the GameCube. So if you want to know my previous experiences with the Star Fox franchise, I mean, I've played a few of the games. I've played SNES. I've played the original SNES game. I've played this. I've played Command on the DS, and I played Zero on the Wii U. I respect this franchise. That's the best way I can put it. I'm not a diehard fan, but I respect it. And you know, I will defend it and say it's one of Nintendo's most underrated franchises, and I think it deserves more games in it. To be honest, I will take more Star Fox games, even though we've got more than another F-Zero game, because I've never played any of those. But, Star Fox Adventures. Now, we all know the story behind this development. Obviously, I'm not going to dive full on into it, but obviously, Rare had plans of making this its own individual game in its own continuity called Dinosaur Planet. But after Shigeru Miyamoto got hold of an early build of the game, he noticed that the main character of the original Dinosaur Planet, a fox-like creature called Saber, looked remarkably like Star Fox's Fox McCloud. So, and since the GameCube had no upcoming Star Fox games, he told Rare he wanted to remake this game as a Star Fox game and release it for their new upcoming console. And, well, so we get this. So I guess we should go over the plot. So we start off the game not as the Star Fox team, but as Crystal, a vixen who lives on the uncharted world, who comes to the uncharted world of Dinosaur Planet to liberate it of the evil General Scales. She learns that the only way to do so is to gain access to the Krazoa spirits. And after she inserts takes one back to Krazoa Palace, a mysterious force traps her into a crystal in it herself, and she is now cryogenically frozen. Flash forward and we see we've cut forward to the Star Fox team, but without Falco, who has left the team for unknown reasons. And General Pepper contacts Fox and his crew about going to Dinosaur Planet and helping save it before it implodes and causes damage to the Lilac system. And Fox agrees because they need to replay the Great Fox. So, with the rusted old R-Wing, Fox arrives on Dinosaur Planet and gets the lowdown from the Earthwalkers, including the Queen and Prince Tricky, that the only way to save Dinosaur Planet is to find all the spell stones as well as the Krazoa spirits, and to put the planet back together. And then, after finding Crystal Star, Fox sets off on his quest to save Dinosaur Planet from General Scales, who is mysteriously working for someone closely connected with him. And by closely connected Fox, I mean Andros. And let's just get over with that. Yes, the whole cop-out, you're going to fight General Scales, but all it takes is just one hit on him with the staff, and Andros comes in, kills Scales, and just hijacks the game, and you have to play him using the R-Wing segments, which I will get to later. But yeah, hijack by Andros is really lame, and considering this is the last Rare game from Nintendo, bar the handheld stuff, and I guess we can sort of count now, we're getting Banjo-Kazooie re-released on the N64 Nintendo Switch Online account, but yeah, for the last original game, really lackluster. But that's not really the biggest problem. I mean, the final boss itself the story itself isn't really that great, even though you don't get much development, to be honest. Falco is absent until the final fight against Andros. Rob, Slippy, and Peppy only appear in a couple of cutscenes, as well as some codec style hints through the menu. Pepper appears a few times just, to relay on information. And, well, the new characters outside Tricky and Crystal, no, nothing really much. And when you get to the gameplay, I mean, look, I understand, I can give credit that I think maybe having doing a Star Fox game where it focuses on ground style combat can actually work. I mean, they did that with the next game, Assault, and they balanced it out with R-Wing and Landmaster stuff. Landmaster is in this, by the way. But yeah, it can work. But the fact of the matter is, it's got to involve combat. Well, it's got to involve action and shooting. This doesn't. It's more aligned with Zelda, and all you get is just a few. And yeah, you get some vehicle segments and riding stuff. But yeah, we'll get to that later. But I mean, I would have preferred a bit more. I mean, I can handle the Zelda stuff, but it does feel out of place. And when you get to the actual vehicle segments, I mean, you get a hover bike, which is the first vehicle. You get to ride a couple of dinosaurs here and there, but they can be really awkward with the challenges. I mean, I think the pterodactyl part in, I think, the 4th dungeon world is my least favorite part of the game. I struggled a lot to get through that. I mean, to get into the actual temple, because you have to destroy all those all those buildings, firing cannons at you. Yeah, it is absolutely hard. And the R-Wings itself, I mean, yeah, the R-Wing segments are just basic. You don't get much. And then you're expected to master that, and for the final fight against Andros. I mean, it's like if Kingdom Hearts 1, the final fight against Ansem Seeker of Darkness, was not the combat you actually do, but in the main game, but instead you fight for the gummy ship, because that's basically what you get with this. But yeah, and overall, I mean, but credit where credit's due. I think the control is on tight for pretty much all of it, outside a couple of the moments of the vehicle segments. The graphics still hold up really well. In fact, this is probably one of the best looking GameCube games of all time. I mean, the actual textures of the fur and grass and some of the architecture is really well done, and the lighting helps out as well. And the voice acting, Rare would always. I'm not sure about their newer games, since the Kinect Sports always have their developers do the voice acting. And you know what? I mean, they do a good job capturing these characters. I don't really think there's anyone who I can kind of say I'm not a fan of. Okay, maybe I'm a bit antsy towards Peppy's very more. I mean, Peppy is an old character, but his raspy performance, I don't know, it's not really good, and I think Receiver could have done a better job with Peppy. But everyone else does okay. Every other character's alright. And the world of Dinosaur Planet itself is, really well done. It's I think the world is very atmospheric, and I had a good time exploring it. I wish that the music could have been better. I mean, David Wise is one of my favorite. Next to Grant Kirkhope, my favorite composer from Rare to ever worked with Rare. And I mean, when you think about his work, the Donkey Kong Country series and Diddy Kong Racing, he is an amazing composer. But with this, I don't know, he does okay. I mean, his remix of the Star Fox theme is great, and I love the Thorntail Hollow theme at Day. That is a great track. But other than that, I don't know, nothing really major. They're okay, but there's nothing that will make you scream, "Oh, that's great!" Outside of, as I said, the remix of the Star Fox theme and Thorntail Hollow's main theme at Day. But overall, this is a polarizing game, but I still like it. I mean, it's no masterpiece, but I think it still holds up, and I'd say give it a go. But I'd say you've got to be at least a fan of the series of Star Fox in general, as well as a fan of Zelda. That's the best way I can describe it. So yeah, that's what I can really say. I'll give this a 7 out of 10 has stars. It's, as I said, it's good. I'd say give it a go, but it's really you have to be more of a Zelda fan than you are the Star Fox fan in general, to be honest. So, what's next? I think I'm going to stick with video games, actually, I think. Okay, sort of. Okay, my next main review will be video game related, but I think I've got something big I want to do in terms of predictions. So yeah, that'll be my next major video, but it'd be a prediction thing. But in the meantime, this is Hazard from Hazard Reviews out, and I'll see you later for my next review, or next video. Ciao.